Well, good morning. We are enjoying a beautiful trail this morning. When it rains like this in the Ubud area, you know, the dirt's gonna turn to mud. But this particular trail that I'm on, I'll show you a map for it. It is a good trail for that type of day because it's been paved with these square stones almost the whole way. So this is sort of my rainy day hike. And it's a beautiful hike. Oh my goodness, it really does go up into the mountains of Ubud. Whew, you can hear that I'm winded, but it's a really nice hike to go on. Today, we are gonna enjoy ourselves here in beautiful Ubud. I'm gonna show you around. Whew, gotta be careful on these steps. I wanna talk to you today about how having a rental property, which a lot of you talk about in the comment section as a possible way to make money, to be able to travel the way that I do. Travel as a minimalist, traveling with just one backpack. It's paid for by my dividend stocks. And I do have one rental property. And a lot of people ask me about that. I want to talk about that because people think it's a viable way to make passive income. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm saying we need to talk about the reality of having a rental property and what my experience has been with it. So today we're going to talk about, should I continue to invest it in dividend stocks? Should I invest in both dividend stocks and my rental property? Or should I just sell that rental property, put it all into dividend stocks? I think you're going to be surprised with the answer. Either way, I just want this video to be informative for you. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm going to talk to you about the realities of owning a rental property and trying to make passive income with it to be able to travel the way I do. We're going to have some real talk. We're also going to get a great bite to eat. Absolutely. We're in beautiful Ubud. We're going to enjoy walking up through the clouds and having a good bite to eat. I'm glad you're coming with. We've got a lot to cover in this video. Let's go.
Traveling the world as a minimalist with one backpack, that is what we do here. Subscribe and come along with Retire and Go.
Let's talk about real numbers with my rental property. Instead of just saying, oh, it brings me passive income, let's be honest. I invested into my rental property about 200 grand up front. Now, when you do something like that, you want to see an ROI, a return on investment, a real ROI. And the reality is, over the years that I've owned this rental property, the income that it has made has basically gone back into the property for maintenance. I've had to change the power box on it. I've had to change parts of the sink. I've had to change plumbing, a lot of stuff. It has been a constant state of maintenance. When you think about that, you have to say, okay, so you've maintained this property. It's brought you a monthly income, but that turns right around into expenses. Yeah, that's the reality. In fact, in the US, we have what's called a standard deduction. Standard deduction is about $14,500. You don't get taxed on that first $14,500. I have never hit that with the income that comes from my rental. Never. And because of that reason, you know, I think about that and I say, after I get done with expenses and paying for maintenance, is it really the right way to go? What else could I do with my money instead? If I put that $200,000 into, I've talked about REITs before. If I put that into a very stable REIT like Realty Income, what would that bring me? Let's think about that. What would be my annual income from that? And that's annual income that I'm not having to worry about tenants, maintenance, anything. Think about that. That's actual income that I would be earning in dividends and collecting, traveling this way. I've thought about it. And I'm curious what your thoughts are in the comment section. Is it smart for me just to keep that $200,000 in this rental property in Hawaii when actually the income from that property just gets negated? Or should I reinvest it into dividends and actually see a real income from it that increases my monthly income? There's something else we have to think about as well.
Waking up here at the Warsaw Bungalows. I love staying here. And this morning we got invaded by the mad monkeys of Bali. They come out generally in the evening, but you know, they stick around here in the morning when I'm getting up to have breakfast.
You see the monkeys right here? They're crawling up on me. Here's another one right here. Watch this one. He's munching. He's munching on something. One thing about this area, Ubud, is the monkeys are not dangerous, but they will grab anything. So if you have a bag on you like this, don't set it down next to you. Do not set down pretty much anything, not your cell phone, anything. Make sure you have control of everything, because they don't realize what that is. They think it's something to eat, and they're gonna grab it and they're gonna take off with it. They will discover it's not something to eat, and they will be in a tree somewhere because they grabbed it from you. So again, you don't have to worry about like for personal safety, but you have to control your things when you have these monkey monks. Look at this one right here. So just keep control. But other than that, you know, they're actually quite pleasant. I wouldn't recommend, you know, trying to go up to them at all. They are not tame. They are just not dangerous. Waking up here at the Warsaw, I just love it. Sometimes I'll jump in the pool early, but also I get up early so that I get the breakfast in the morning, and I'll show that to you. Today's a little bit rainy, but we're still gonna get out and enjoy ourselves. I'm gonna pack things up and go for a nice walk today. And there's a particular trail that's somewhat paved, so we're gonna do that one. There's a monkey fight going on. You hear that? Monkey fight right here. Monkey fight.
After I survive the mad monkeys of Bali, then I start heading towards the trails. I just want you to know there's so many wonderful places to have breakfast, low cost. You get up early like this, and Ubud is your oyster. Lots of places open, hardly anyone up. It comes alive at night.
Early in the morning like this, heading down to this trail. It's just got done raining. It's quiet. It's actually a pretty good day to go. One thing about Hawaii real estate is that you can't make any more of it. Okay? It's finite. And for that reason, it goes up in value very well. I'll show you what Hawaii real estate has looked like over the last, let's just say 30 years. And there's really no sign of stopping as more and more people around the world are retiring, and they're thinking of relocating someplace safe and beautiful with a good temperature. They're moving to Hawaii. As they do that, the real estate values continue to grow because there's a continued demand to move to Hawaii to retire or to live or whatever the case might be. So I have to take into consideration the value of the property. If my property values are growing the way that they have, and if they're going to continue to grow, which I don't see any reason why they will not, because things in Hawaii have remained stable. They are, it's sort of a quiet, almost like foreign country in a way. Kind of maintains its own little government, and it's quite passive as far as the benevolent nature of the government itself. And yeah, I have to think about that. If the return on the value of the property is going to be there, then maybe zeroing out on the profit, maybe that doesn't matter. And there's actually a third thing that I have to think about. Ooh, it's a nice clearing right here. Look at this. It kind of opened up a little bit. Nice bright clearing. Cloudy today, but at the same time, that's nice. It's not too hot. Wow, this is a great, the jungle opened up. What is the third thing that I have to think about? Well, if it's a reality that the cost of living continues to go up in the US, which it will be a reality, we see inflation continue. We see the cost of homes in Hawaii are going to continue to go up. In the future, if I get into my 70s and I decide that I want to move back to Hawaii, I will not be able to touch property at all. And so it behooves me to actually maintain that property, even if it negates itself in income. That's like a $200,000 insurance plan to make sure I have a home in America. Now, I will tell you, time will tell if that's a good plan or if I was a fool. But that's true about everything. Time will tell that about all of us, about every decision that we make. I have to make the right decision. But at the same time, how do we know what's going to happen over the next 20 years? I'm in my 50s now. What happens 20 years from now? It gives me a place to land back in the States, and I have to think about that. These are the three things that I think about. One, does it bring me passive income? Two, it's growing in value because of its location. In real estate, baby, it's all about location. And three, it gives me a place to land in the future when I'm in my 70s if I so choose. I don't know for sure what's going to happen, but that's true for everything. We are going through a massive upheaval in our culture with both the economy, demographics, artificial intelligence, you name it. So we don't know what the future brings. Just trying to make the best decision possible. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts right now is to get something in my stomach. At the top of this hike, you have several restaurants and coffee shops, and they range. Some are very chill like this, which is what I like. Some are fancy with Wi-Fi, and they're kind of tucked away. It's really kind of a little community at the top of this hike. It's cool. I sat down to have myself a great meal and a nice watermelon juice. I enjoy this place. I showed it to you last year.
Oh, yum. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Whew, thank you so much. Oh, man.
For the chap
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Enjoy.
The prices are fantastic. Now here in the Ubud area, again, you're gonna have like luxury places to stay. There's yoga resorts in Ubud that are not cheap, but that's just not the way that I travel and it's not the way that I live. I stay in lower cost hotels. My hotel is costing me like about $16 to $18 a night with everything included. And then I'm eating meals that cost less than $5. That's incredible. That's a great way to travel and live life. I'm glad that we had a real and honest talk about rental properties and income.
I want to thank you for spending some time with me today. Are you interested in this lifestyle that I live? Traveling the world as a minimalist with one backpack? If you are, like and subscribe to the video and come with. Whew, just make sure you got your cardio up. Whew, we're up in the clouds today. You can support the channel by picking up a copy of my new book, The Traveler and the Bard. The link is in the description. Okay, we've got a lot more of Bali to see. I am so looking forward to it. I love this trip up here, and I like these rainy days. They're so cool. Okay, we'll talk again soon. Aloha.
I thought I was safe just making my way to my morning hike, but blending into the concrete was the mad dog of Ubud. Look at him, using stealth techniques, waiting for me, like a claymore in the jungle. I step on him and he takes me out. Look at him, a vicious beast. Will he notice? Oh, done. He's awake. The mad dog of Ubud.
The same is true for reading glass. We are going through a massive upheaval. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. When you're walking on this type of trail, like individual square blocks like this, you really see how important footwear is. Having footwear that is actually strapped to your foot and also that protects the toes, because walking on here, you're constantly smashing your toes into the brick in front that's maybe just a little bit off, you know. You really need to protect your feet when you're on these types of trails. I think any type of trail. It's just a big part of travel is you have to have quality footwear that protects your feet.